The European budget is 2% of all the national budget. The biggest contribution that the EU can do is actually not through the amount of money it gives to the countries, but into what it puts the money. The impact of the pandemic on Europe's economy was huge. The GDP dropped by 7.4% across the EU, but the differences between the countries are really, really big. So in Italy, Portugal, and Spain, this was close to 10%. In Germany, it was rather 5%, whereas in Sweden, Ireland, or even in Poland, it was between 2 and 4%. The youngest were hit very, very badly. The low-skilled, the low-wage, people in non-standard work, the self-employed. And also another factor for differences is that the low-income countries have much less space and possibility to compensate for the social impact of the pandemic.
In December 2020, the European Union agreed an unprecedented package for EU finances, comprising the traditional long-term budget of the European Union and a new temporary recovery instrument, Next Generation EU. This means that in this period, 2021-2023, we are adding to 3 traditional annual budgets of the European Union the equivalent of 5 other annual budgets. That's a significant amount of money.
The question is really how countries will absorb this. And this is where I would say that EU policies are not only very important in terms of having a budget, but they are also very important in terms of helping, if possible, the quality of the spending. Quality of the spending is really that the money is really going where it is necessary. So it has to go to the workers, to the vulnerable, so that there is really investment into education, into health, into building public institutions, having better public finance system.
Following the 2008 global financial crisis, only a fraction of fiscal spending across the world improved sustainability. The EU has designed its new recovery instrument in a different way, focusing it on the challenges and opportunities of the green and digital transitions, creating new jobs. We do not want only to recover, but we want also to make our economies and societies better, stronger, and fitter for the future.
The budget, as other policy tools like governance tools and policy objectives, can incentivize change in the member states. So it's very, very important how they impact the different systems. And this is why I think governance and institutions are as important as the budget itself. So the EU is actually an engine that can help experimentation, innovation, and transformation if the tools, including the budget of the EU, are used in a good way.